Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into a really fascinating journey to discover how a regional Indian deity became this massive, universal symbol of synthesis, peace, and cosmic consciousness. We're exploring the culture surrounding Lord Jagannath of Puri. This is a phenomenon stretching back centuries that somehow seamlessly blends deeply esoteric philosophy with incredibly vibrant, living traditions. Let's get into it.
To really wrap our heads around this rich tradition, here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the Grand Care Festival, move into a synthesis of faiths, uncover the mystery of Navakalabhara, taste the magic of Mahaprasad, and finally conclude with the path to peace.
Right off the bat, take a look at the captivating Holy Trinity. Look at these uniquely striking visages of Lord Jagannath, Devi Shuhadara, and Lord Balabhadra. Notice the prominent circular eyes, the distinct block-like forms, and those incredibly vivid colors. Now, these aren't your typical standard representations found in the Hindu pantheon, right? They actually stand at the very center of a massive cultural complex that draws millions of devotees, philosophers, and curious minds from literally all over the globe.
Okay, Part 1. The Grand Car Festival, a spectacle of scale.
Let's start with the macro view, the globally famous Rath Yatra. This is celebrated during the rainy season, when a massive sea of humanity gathers. According to ancient texts, doing this during the monsoon is highly symbolic. The rainy season encompasses all the elements of nature, the heat, the cold, the wind, representing a complete organic whole. It's the absolute perfect backdrop for a festival, meant to bring everything in the universe together in one shared space. But the crucial insight here actually lies in the name itself. Jagat means the cosmos, or the flux. That makes Jagannath the Lord of the universe, the presiding symbol of divine dynamism and universal brotherhood. This isn't just a static, local deity. This is a philosophical embodiment of the ever-changing universe we live in.
Now, as they roll toward the Gundicha temple, you have to understand that these aren't just massive wooden vehicles. They're profound philosophical symbols. Every single chariot carries a deeply psychological lesson. When Lord Jagannath rides Nandighosa, it's proclaiming eternal joy. Lord Balabhadra's chariot, Taladwaja, represents total spiritual completeness, and Devi Subhadra's chariot, Darpadalana, that one reminds the millions of people watching to eliminate their own ego and vanity. Every piece of wood and every name carries a deliberate, powerful message.
Moving on to Part 2. A synthesis of faiths. One deity, many paths.
This tradition isn't just for one isolated group, it is an incredible melting pot of worldviews. I really want you to think about this question for a second. How does a single deity seamlessly unite tribal, Jaina, Buddhist, and Hindu traditions into one living culture? Because the real magic of Jagannath is that it serves as a masterclass in assimilation and religious tolerance. In a world that so often fractures along religious lines, this tradition proves that unity definitely does not require uniformity.
As you can see, Jagannath embraces multiple paths literally without any conflict. The original wooden log worship, known as Daru Devata, traces straight back to ancient tribal roots. To Jains, the triad represents their core tenets, the Tri Ratnas, perfect knowledge, conduct, and vision. For Buddhists, those massive circular eyes, they're symbols of supreme wisdom or prajna. And within Hinduism, the triad effortlessly encompasses and balances the major sects of Saivism, Sektism, and Vaishnavism. It is a true architectural marvel of theology.
Okay, Part 3. The mystery of Navakalabhara, reincarnation of the divine.
Zooming in a bit from history to ritual, we encounter this beautiful paradox, an immortal god who actually undergoes a physical death and rebirth. It is one of the most mysterious and closely guarded rituals in the entire tradition. This esoteric process of new embodiment shows us that even the divine respects the all-consuming capacity of time in the mortal world. It begins with Jyota Asada, a double-leap month occurring just every 8 to 19 years. During this super rare alignment, the old wooden bodies of the deities are completely discarded. Then, through a strenuous, deeply secretive process in the absolute dark of night, the Brahma Padartha, this mystic soul substance, is carefully transferred into freshly carved wooden idols.
As the philosopher Sri Aurobindo famously noted, Purusa does nothing, it only reflects the action of Prakriti. This quote deeply elevates the ritual, doesn't it? It reminds us that while the outer wooden body, the Prakriti, is mechanical and naturally ages, the inner consciousness, the Purusa, is eternal and unchanging. The Navakalabhara ritual perfectly mirrors the human condition. Our physical bodies wear down and are ultimately discarded, but that spark of cosmic consciousness remains entirely untouched.
That brings us to Part 4. The magic of Mahaprasad, a taste of the divine.
We're moving now from the deeply esoteric to the intensely sensory and personal. Because in this tradition, theology doesn't just live in old books, it is something you can literally taste. Our source shares this incredible anecdote that proves this is a living, breathing tradition. A devotee experienced a sudden, totally passing craving for sapuri khata, a really rare, sweet-sour pineapple chutney she hadn't tasted in 3 decades. Almost instantly, a surprise delivery of Mahaprasad arrived, completely unprompted, all the way from the temple in Puri, containing that exact incredibly rare dish. For the devoted, it's a sensory reminder that cosmic consciousness is always listening.
Mahaprasad is a deeply emotional connection to cultural roots. Just look at these details. It's enough to make anyone hungry. Imagine tasting Gaya Ardna, white rice perfectly seasoned with cow's ghee and large raisins, or Kamalabata, a blushing peach rice flavored with pure orange juice. Finishing up with kira, soft cottage cheese balls soaked in sweet, thickened milk. But here's the real kicker. When people sit down to eat this Mahaprasad together, all rules of caste and social standing are entirely abandoned. It is the absolute ultimate social equalizer.
And finally, Part 5, The Path to Peace, Mastering the Human Chariot.
We've arrived at the ultimate purpose of this entire tradition, and it directly connects to you, the viewer, because the grand festival happening outside is actually meant to trigger a realization inside. It's super easy to just look at that massive physical chariot of Nandi Ghosha and see a giant spectacle, but the Katha Upanishad asks you to look in the mirror. You are the human chariot. Your body is the vehicle, your soul is the charioteer, and your senses are the wild horses pulling you forward. Crucially, your mind must act as the bridle. Without a disciplined mind to hold the reins, those sensory horses will simply drag you into chaos, anxiety, and conflict.
Swami Paramananda put it beautifully. From joy people are born, for joy they live, in joy they melt at death. Achieving world peace begins exactly here, by mastering the horses of our own senses, finding that inner cosmic joy, and becoming the true master of our own chariot. Universal peace isn't just built through external treaties, but by individuals realizing their deep connection to the cosmic flux. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I'll leave you with a question to ponder. How firmly are you holding the bridle to your own senses today?